Hello everyone, this is Mukundan Raghavan, and in this video we are going to start our new series on Apache PySpark. Before getting into the introduction of the PySpark, let's understand the need for this. You might work in some companies, and every company produces a lot of information or data. You might see a lot of data until unless you get the insights of the data, then you will not do anything. So basically, when you derive the information from the data, then you can do some actions over that. Data might be from the customers. Data might be from your websites. Data might be from the huge log files. In simple data, we might use the tools as simple as Excel and Pandas. But when your data grows, as we all see, nowadays we have a lot of data from the different frames. So for that case, we might reach some limit. For example, it might go beyond some gigabytes. So in that case, your processing might have some problems, mainly memory error, which might crash your system or crash your program, or your application starts behaving very slowly, which means you will have the performance problem. In either case, business will have the impact. So when you grow your business, your data increases, your information has to taken out properly by having a proper system which can handle this huge amount of data. So for that, we cannot go with simple our laptop, which might have maximum 32 GB or 64 GB and so on. So in short, we will have the memory limitation when you go for the big data. And also, if you try to divide your data into multiple systems, that calculates, that process your data and comes back. Again, you need to collate all together. But here, programmers or users have to do multi-threading, and you need to know how to distribute your data to the different systems. By the time we think this, the growth of data is exponential, so that you need to have an immediate solution. And also, we are not working on only one system. There might be different systems which can be connecting from upstream or downstream. So in either case, you might use the ETL pipelines, and also testing also required. ETL is nothing but extract, transform, and load into other system. You could be the system who will be extracting from your side, or you will be the system who will be getting loaded from the other side. And also, needless to say, machine learning and AI training data preparation also needs huge processing power. To overcome all these challenges, we have the tool called PySpark. And today we are going to start that PySpark. And today we are just going to understand why we need PySpark and Spark ecosystem and PySpark use cases and what are the goals for this course. So let's start with first point. What is PySpark? Apache Spark is an open source distributed platform designed for high speed big data processing. Here, high speed and big data processing. These are the main points. And also you can see it is a distributed platform. Unlike working on a single system, your data will be distributed across the different platform. If you go into the Spark, it has some core components. The first one is Spark Core. This is the main one which will act like an engine for distributed computation and fault tolerance. And second one, Spark SQL. You are not only doing the SQL in your database, but in Spark also, when you have huge amount of data, you can do the SQL. And Spark Streaming. For some informations, you cannot wait to get the data into some system and process. You have to do the processing as it comes, which is called streaming data. So for that, we have the entity called Spark Streaming in Spark System, real-time data streams, and MLlib. Needless to say, as we discussed, there is a built-in library called MLlib in machine learning, and that we can use for the machine learning purpose. And GraphX. Not all data will be in same format, such as a table, JSON, log files. It could be sometime the graph data. So for network analysis kind of thing, you will use the GraphX from the Spark system. Now, these all are the basic core items from the Apache Spark. But what is PySpark? Apache Spark is a system where you can use multiple languages such as Scala, Java, Python. But as we all know, Python will be very easy for us in syntactical and writing also. So that's the reason there is a API called PySpark which implements the Spark itself. So that's the reason we will be using the PySpark so that we can learn the PySpark for our case. Okay, let's understand. You might be a developer or QA or maybe a data engineer already or maybe a different role that you are playing now. Why one should learn PySpark? As we discussed, PySpark is a Spark's Python API and you might use for data processing. That is a basic definition. But as we all know, nowadays, every company will use ETL or data pipelines. For every company nowadays uses the ETL process or data pipelines. Basically, when they have the huge amount of data, they might have this for cleansing the data, transforming, validating the large data sets and analyticals, and also for reporting. In machine learning world, they call it as a future engineering. And also in automation, you need to have this basic knowledge to prepare and verify the different kinds of data set that you need to provide for ETL testing. Because it's not about only you create the transform rules, you extract from somewhere, you transform and you load it. You also need to make sure the data is loaded properly and ready business use. And after that, we have discussed about the real-time analytics, such as the Internet of Things, e-commerce, finance, because these are very real-time. For example, share market. For example, the devices that works in army. You cannot wait and process and to have some time. These are very time crucial. And also, if you are the interested person for the machine learning and AI, definitely you will have some basic knowledge from this series. And also, let's say you are working on some cloud platforms, could be AWS, Azure, and so on. When you have the knowledge about the PySpark, you know how to integrate the data from different systems. And also, you know what are the other different data types also available, along with our basic CSV, JSON, and simple log files. So, what is the goal for this series that we are going to see? We are going to understand the basic need and architecture of the Spark, and also we are going to learn the essentials just to see how it runs and what are the basic entities that we have discussed, like a data frames, RDDs, and SQL queries. So these are the things will be discussed in coming days so that we will have an idea about the PySpark and basic practical knowledge also in PySpark. So these are the goals for the coming sessions. Hope we will have a great sessions coming days. And this is all about this video. And always be a rainbow in others' cloud.